So, Nomad Nights, episode 3 recap because we had some technical difficulties audios with all of the recordings for episode 3. So, we're doing another recap. And then episode 4
Yeah.
will be the actual first episode.
Yeah.
Again, by the
Or
way.
at least the first publicly posted episode. All these are going to be unlisted because I just don't have the data for all this stuff on my PlayStation. Okay.
Third,
So, actually, you guys started
third
the episode.
time's the charm.
Yeah, jeez. You guys, Jason, you guys were still in New York at the start of the episode, right?
Yeah. Actually,
So,
uh, no, yeah, we were.
yeah. So, the party, which was at the time just Jason and
Me.
Rose. I guess you guys should introduce yourself too.
Oh,
Hello.
yeah.
You can go first.
Yeah. Well, I'm Kip. I play the character Maya.
Hello. I'm Red. I play the character Jason.
I am the GM. My nickname's Z, and I play the character of Jordan as my personal character, and also literally everyone else.
Oh,
So, at the very beginning of episode 3, the party was just made up of Rose and Jason. Rose is not here, her player is Rue. And an NPC named Lyra, and another one named Derek, who had his name changed to Zeke because he's their adopted street urchin. And Rose was paranoid, so she wanted to change his name. So they just completed the mission from episode 2, gained Lyra as an ally, and then Rose used her spatial time, what is it? I call it senses to basically look into the future, see different events. She saw the party fighting in medieval times against some mysterious knight in a different timeline. She also discovered that there were multiple timelines and that they were in 5 of 7, I believe, off from the original timeline. And then she, under Jason's advice, tried to look and see who
whoa.
had given everyone powers and saw a giant fiery energy eyeball attached to some galaxy sized creature that was too big for her to see, and then got emotionally scarred because the creature also saw her through space time.
You want to tell him what it said?
Oh yeah, it said entity ahead of schedule to her, and then she panicked and shut her powers off.
And he was also looking directly at her on Earth to be
Yeah,
even more creepy.
yeah.
Yep.
She looked at it through time and it did the same to her. And then after that, she had a little bit of a mental. Shut up, Twitch. I need to mute my phone. She had a little bit of a mental breakdown. Lyra got some character development and tried to comfort her. And then Jordan convinced her to use her powers one more time to find the NPC Enoch. And then Jason and Jordan went on a little quest, the Chaos Crew, and actually managed to convince Enoch to join the party. So after that, they gathered
Mostly
up all
me.
their stuff and made their way from New York to Louisiana. And of course, Jason and Jordan were like trolling each other the entire time.
Hmm.
What is even the first thing you guys did when you got to Louisiana? Can't even. Oh, you found what's her name? You found the other
Mirror.
NPC that Rose discovered using her spatial time senses. That would be the next infused person, is what we call the people with abilities. You found Amira, who was a lifeguard. Jason was being a creeper, as he does, giving her bad
I,
vibes.
I don't ever mean to be a creeper, but apparently every woman in the game thinks that I'm a
I
creeper.
don't mean in a perverted way. He just literally gives
Yeah.
off serial killer vibes.
Wow, I did not think it was like that, but okay.
Yes,
It's
because
just
he
a
read
dee
her
dee dee
mind
dee
and
dee dee
started
dee
using
dee.
personal information to have a conversation with her.
Yeah, because she was thinking that she wants to be a Coast Guard, and I was like, so, you want to be a Coast Guard? Seems like a pretty cool job.
Yeah, you don't walk up to random people and tell them that though, and just start conversing with them about personal information.
Yeah,
So,
I guess.
despite that, they faked a little incident with the child Zeke pretending to drown, Amira obviously rescuing him, and then them inviting her to dinner as a thank you for that, and she hesitantly accepted. And then they began a conversation with her, trying to like suss out like what her goals were with her powers. But before that got started, we cut back to our newest player character, Maya, living in Alaska.
Yeah, that's me.
Yep. Uh, Basically, she was just doing her thing about, what was it, a month and a half ago? Around
Yeah.
the time that all the other PCs, player characters, got their abilities. And she had her own interaction with the robot vampire bats. Much less hostile than everyone else's.
It was a interesting
Yeah.
experience.
Basically, she tried to, or no, not she. The bat tried to bite her, except it didn't do anything because she has prosthetics. Because she was born without both arms, like would you say, below or above the elbow?
below that, below the elbow.
Okay. So you just have like a little bit of a forearm, right? Like a tiny little
Yeah.
palm. And
Yeah.
Bat was confused, flew off. She decided she wanted to follow it into the woods in Alaska at night. Ran into a bear, just barely managed to fight it off with some bear spray. And then the little bat came back and shot some plasma at the bear, scared it off. And then it brought one of the big bats with it, the 7 foot tall ones, which burst into flames and turned into a upgraded pair of whatchamacallit, prosthetic arms for her. And the little bat basically attached itself to the back of her neck and basically transformed into like a neuralink for the arms.
Yeah. The big bet looked down at me like very judgmental.
Yes, it was not happy. I mean, I guess I can spoil this because this will be public. Basically, like, I mean, you guys would have figured this out. They're just going around mutating things to try and like upgrade animals. And like I mean, the conversation between the big one and little one, it's like, let's do this one. It's like this human doesn't have arms. It's like she fought off a bear. Let's do it. It's like we're supposed to be making things stronger. We need something with like fight in it or something. I don't know. So I mean, that's just a conversation you could guess from the what you've said with all the other characters in your downtime. But
Yeah.
afterwards, it skips ahead a little bit more. Maya figures out some cool stuff she can do with her arms, and we skip back to the present, where the group successfully manages to get kind of sort of convince Amira to work with them hesitantly, despite Jordan's best intentions of pissing her off and then getting thrown through a window.
Yeah.
Knocked his ass out.
Whatever. So after that, she agrees to help them on their quest to discover these rings on their GPS watches, which are mutated animals, as well as the semicircle slash semi rings, which are basically human animal hybrids that have been mutated. And she goes on her way, and then Rose does her thing and yoinks Maya through her portal just like Jason. Or not as dramatically with Jason. She just basically opened the portal and is like, come join us to fight some aliens.
While Jordan walked in first with a halo behind him.
Oh yeah, that was funny. My character can control electromagnetism, so I just made a little arc of electricity. And I was like, join us, my child, come to the other side. And she's like, "What?" Was trying to make you think you like died and were going to heaven or something.
And then I called them aliens.
Yes. Which, I don't know. Maybe true, maybe not true. We'll see. But after that, Maya joined the group, and then they met up with Amira again the next day, who was not happy about their past shenanigans. You know, casual murder. And they just barely manages to keep her from, like, snitching on them or whatever and joining them on their quest to discover what this baby kaiju, as they've been calling them, is. Even though at this point, I don't even think you can call them baby kaijus. They're just straight up kaijus. Because they went into the swamp on some rented fan boats, and they fought a cottonmouth snake that was like the length of like two school buses.
It was a big boy.
Yes, this big snake. And they did a decent job shooting at it while driving away in their boats. And Maya used her, what is it, a plasma launcher that's built into her cybernetic arms. Also rolled a one, and one of her arms basically, like, formed rockets and went flying off and then exploded. But
Leaving this.
it didn't get destroyed. It just let out a big explosion.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, Jordan did get poisoned by the snake, but he was fine because he could regenerate. He's just very unhappy. But they
He got
managed to
eaten
kill
by
the
it too.
thing. Not fully. Like I said, the safest part of the snake is inside of it, because then it can't get you. He also got his revenge by, like, cutting through the snake, or, like, widening a hole that Rose had made with her sword, and chest bursting his way out of the snake. But
Yeah.
eventually they killed it. Jason shot it up to the point where its head fell off. And then they decided that they were going to skin it and take some of the meat for food because it was a big snake. And Jordan's like, let's not have it go to waste. Let's put this to good use, and also skin a bunch of the scales to possibly turn into armor later.
Yeah.
After that, they what did they do? They went back, had a good old time, and then they, I guess, just took a day of rest or rested the
Pretty
night
much.
before
Yeah.
deciding to go out back for the ring, or not the ring, the semi ring and the semicircle, which is the human animal hybrid. So they did that, went to the swamp, got Amira with them again, even though she's not a fan of their tactics. She's not a fan of, the brutalizing and the murder and the setting people on fire and poisoning them.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, we only did one of those things, but we took the snake's venom to use because the NPC Lyra's powers work on poison, and Jordan has like incendiary rounds for his shotgun, which she's not happy about either of those things. So after that, they went on another adventure to track down this human-animal hybrid. Found a little island on a swamp, and found a girl named Pat, who they discovered was, what is it, mutated with a jumping spider. So I'll have
Hmm.
her on screen, and then the little spider she's fused with. And they managed to not turn it into a fight, again, despite Jason's best attempts to do so.
If they had just gone with my plan, everything would have been fine. Let's just say
First, he
that.
told this girl that they were water cops. I think he said as a quote, and that he was
Yeah.
gonna arrest her. And then after she was
If
already freaked out by that, he then said, well, she's like, well, what are you actually here for? He's like, oh, we're a cult.
Yeah.
And then she jumping spied it off. She just hopped away at super speed. And Rose managed to track her down and convince her to like explain herself. And she's like, "It's fine. We all have powers too." And she's like, "Really?" And then she turned into her spider human hybrid form, and Rose had a panic attack again.
Everybody's just like screaming and cowering
Yes,
in fear.
yes. Amira did not like it. Lyra did not like it. I don't remember what Jason's reaction was. Jordan found the entire situation hilarious. And Maya started petting her like a dog. She's like, so fluffy.
Yes.
Because it is the jumping spot on screen. She's kind of fluffy. Or bristly or whatnot. But she
Hmm.
revealed that, like, she basically isolated herself out on this swamp island because of her fear of hurting humans, because she doesn't want to, but the part of her brain that was a jumping spider very much does. It's like, we finna eat. So she's just been sating her hunger by eating and hunting other wild animals. And then they took her back, organized some stuff, got into her RV because they were running out of space. Here's a picture of the RV. And the floor layout, and hopefully now they have enough space for all these NPCs that they've adopted. But not much else happened, mainly just them screwing around in the RV. Oh yeah, Lyra. Lyra was having a time. Because of not one role for her, everyone except for her basically figured out that she had a crush on Amira. And then nothing has really happened with that except for her coming out to all the other PCs. Mainly, Maya, kind of, sort of, but I just forgot she was in the room during the conversation. I
Yeah,
was
I was
like, well,
just
she
curled up
knows
on the
too.
floor.
It's like, I can't unretcon it now. And the
Hmm.
group has all been very accepting because they're. I was about to say good people, but we have murdered someone, so decent people.
Well, you guys murdered someone. I
Oh,
didn't do
yeah.
nothing yet.
I wonder if we even told her about. No, you figured it out.
Yeah.
Jordan be like, murder is okay, but I draw the line at homophobia. Is only one person. It's fine. Not even technically a person. It was the mosquito human hybrid from episode 2 that they killed, and he didn't like that either because it was considered it cowardly because they just killed her with chlorine gas because she was trapped in a box. But aside from that, the episode was pretty much over. And
Hmm.
then, oh yeah, the last thing, which is the goon from episode 2, greatest goon ever, who managed to hold his own against Lyra and Jason at the same time during a fight when they were raiding the illegal smugglers' pet warehouse. He actually is hunting for them. He found Madame Lotus recovering in the hospital from Jordan's electric blast. Tried to get information on from her about where the group had went. Couldn't, and then he smothered her with a pillow. So got somebody hunting for him now. But I think that's pretty much all that happened in the episode. Jason,
Yeah, I
you
don't think there
remember
was anything
anything else?
else.
Oh
Um,
no, there was. At the beginning of the episode, the how did I forget about that? Yeah, the original player character who's like, or the player who's no longer with us, not dead. He just doesn't play with us anymore. His character is having a not good time, and by that I mean he died. They basically discovered that one of the giant 7 foot tall robot bats had tracked him down and killed him, and they were trying to deduce why, and discovered it's because he wasn't using his powers for anything. Like, they deduced that the bats either want you to grow stronger or use your powers in some capacity, and the character whose name was Rick was not doing either. So it tracked him down, killed him, took his powers and took his watch, and just kind of left him for dead. Or I guess not left him for dead, but regardless. And then they also discovered with Rose again using her temporal spatial sense that it had given the powers to an NPC from episode 1 named Frank, who was the main antagonist of that episode. It was basically a teenage arsonist who Rose had beaten up and thrown in prison, or not prison, juvie. But now he has the abilities of super strength, speed, durability, and thermokinesis, which lets him heat and freeze objects. So he could be a problem later, but we'll see. And that's pretty much everything that happened in episode 3. You guys got anything to add?
Mm, don't
I
think
don't.
so.
Yeah, I don't believe I do.
Yep.
Because other than that, we were just mostly doing shenanigans. So
Yeah, I need to get better at railroading these guys because there's at least like 2 hours of just Jason and Jordan screwing around in the RV doing nonsense. So join us for more nonsense in the first actual episode, episode 4. Deuces.